Vanakkam. What an honor to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, and my fellow dreamers. Today I stand before you not as an actress, but as a storyteller of life's unexpected twists and turns. But before I dive into the whirlwind of my journey, let me take a moment to appreciate the fear of failure. How many of you have danced with this lurking shadow? How many of you have grappled with this thought at some point in your life? Raise your hands. Fear of failure? Yes? Okay, a lot of people. There's a study that shows about 80 to 88% of young adults today are under tremendous pressure to succeed. And when they don't, it leads to anxiety, social isolation, and a host of other mental health issues. One of the luckiest things to happen to us in life, I think, is a happy childhood. Let me paint you a picture of my upbringing. I am the proud daughter of a retired Air Force officer turned lawyer and a homemaker mother with the hardest job in the world. I was born in New Delhi, traveled extensively across the country before moving to Bangalore for my higher education. And when I went to Bangalore, I realized this is where my heart is, which is why I consider myself a North Indian with a South Indian heart. I love my paranthas as much as I love my masala dosas and vada curry. Growing up, I had the privilege of being raised by parents who were extremely progressive. They treated me as an individual with opinion and not as a child. I was encouraged to be whoever I wanted to be. My father, who is my superhero and my best friend, shared his mantras of life and success, which included have faith in God and the 4 golden A's. These are aspire, acquire, apply, and achieve. To simplify it for you, aspire, have a dream, a clear vision of what you want your future, your dream life to look like. Acquire, the knowledge, skill set, education for it. Apply all of it, all of the above in the real world. Achieve, physically live that dream. I had these A's down to perfection, and I was so confident and life seemed like a beautiful, smooth ride. But that's when came the twists. As a teenager, I romanticized the idea of emulating my father and grandfather and donning that Indian Air Force uniform. So I thought, I'm going to get a basic degree. It would mostly be engineering since I was decently good at science. And then I would apply for the Indian Air Force. The plan was set, but destiny had other ideas. At the age of 18, I got into the college of my dreams, moved into the hostel away from family for the first time, had the best set of friends. Everything was working out as I was also part of the fashion team and that made me quite popular. But this is when things started to go south. My grades started to plummet, and this was very unusual for me because I had always been an achiever. The fear of failure gripped me. And this is the thing with failure. Nobody prepares you for it. Because in every film, at home, in school, we are only told success stories. And for anybody hailing from a middle-class family, failing is not even an option. There is no plan B. Well, it's safe to say, I felt stuck, alone, and falling into an abyss. That's when my mother, like a beacon of hope, once called me. And as they say, God can't be everywhere, so they created mothers, right? My mother called and said, "How are you, beta?" And I choked on my words. I think she realized what was going on, that I was really sad. And she said, "What makes your heart sing? What sets your soul on fire? Find that and tirelessly, relentlessly pursue it." That got me thinking, and these words lit a fire within me. I ended my pity party and off I went into the real world, seeking opportunities like a warrior. Beyond college, I was seeking opportunities beyond college, and one rejection after another, one odd job after another, I stumbled into the world of modeling. Back then, I wasn't as confident, Because growing up, I was never the pretty one. I was always the tall, lanky athlete who boys wanted to be friends with. Well, guess who's having the last laugh now? Well, I was doing really well as a model, and honestly, strangely, for the first time in a long time, I felt seen and appreciated. I juggled college, auditions, and shoots. Some months I would run out of money, so I would take as many as 2 buses, then walk to the venue, dab my face with a towel before going in for an audition. But I worked as hard as I could, and I developed a hustle mentality in the process. And the stars were aligning in my favor. I was quickly becoming a successful model, and I went on to do about 150 ads in various languages and close to 40 ramp shows. But I quickly realized the transient nature of the job, and I had to look for something long-term. Well, this is when acting opportunities started to pour in. But I resisted them for the longest time, thinking, I don't deserve it. I don't have anybody in the movie business. How am I going to make it? I don't have a famous surname. I have no training. Well, one fine day I got an offer I could not refuse. I got a call from a national award-winning director's office, and the next day I was flown to Hyderabad. To my surprise, I was signed on as the leading lady. As I was taking the lift from the 3rd floor to the 1st floor of the building, another director spotted me and signed me on too. I was signed for 2 films, given 2 checks, and the maximum amount of money I had seen up until then in my life. I was only 20. Everything was working out, right? And I lived happily ever after. Well, no. Right after this, I enrolled myself in an acting workshop, was training in martial arts, grooming myself because I wanted to put my best foot forward. And this is when destiny, just like Thanos, snapped its finger. One fine day, I got a call from my doctor. He paused and said, Avantika, I know that you're prepping for your big debut, but sorry to break this to you. You have a skin condition we need to deal with. It's pretty serious, and it may take you anywhere from 6 months to 2 years to recover. And I need you to step away from acting right now and come to me for treatment. Step away? I hadn't even begun. I was devastated. Well, what followed after was I was unceremoniously dropped from one film after another. Barring the first director who cast me, he called me and said, Avan, I think you're Destiny's Child, and I don't see anybody but you playing this part. I will forever be grateful to him, and this is how my celluloid journey began. You know, at that point in my life, I had several dark moments, and I kept thinking, no matter how hard it is or how hard it gets, I want to see what happens when I don't give up. Because one thing that I learned from that stage in my life is waiting for the right moment in life is a trap. Because the perfect moment is now. So don't wait. Start where you are. Use what you have. Because it is in these moments that the real magic happens. I had to take a break of 2 years. I came back with a series called Avani on gender bias, which went viral. And it was one of the most talked about in Google topics of the year. It spoke to people on several levels across the globe, and it opened doors of opportunities I could not even imagine. And it also taught me the power of internet and how I could use it to create opportunities for myself and choose characters that are strong and well-rounded women. Well, after that, my work has taken me to several cities like Mumbai, Hyderabad, Chennai quickly becoming my second home because the industry here really welcomed me with open arms. And it's been a wonderful journey. And today, I stand before you giving a TED Talk, which was right up on my vision board of 2023. Because that 18-year-old Avantika could not even fathom the idea of being an outlier, a first-gen actor. Because she was laughed at by her friends and her relatives for making this decision. Since then, I've done fairly well for myself, working in movies across languages, headlining shows for major OTT giants, music videos, and I'm just getting started. As Kamal sir would say, the eagle is coming. But I knew one thing for sure, that I want to do this on my own terms and with dignity, because I'd rather fail with honor than succeed by fraud. When I needed nuggets of wisdom, my dad gave them to me, so I'll share my mantras with you. I have 5. First, there's no rush, no deadline, no right or wrong age to be married, successful, to settle down. These are just fanciful numbers given to us by the society. Because the real magic happens when you follow your heart, not the clock. Second, invest in relationships. Build a community around you. We're social beings after all. Third, start managing your finances early. Invest. Fourth, invest in your spiritual and mental health. Fifth and most important, get a dog ASAP. It will change your life. Before I part, I want to leave you with my favorite Sanskrit sloka. Manas ekam, vachas ekam, karman ekam, mahatmanam, which roughly translates to, if your thoughts, words, and actions are in harmony, that makes you a great soul. It's been a pleasure talking to you all. Thank you.